Hi y'all, welcome to the Style Chronicles. Thank you, Eva. I'm going to share my concealing routine with you guys. Excuse the unmade face, that's what I'm going to do right now. I've been asked several times what I do to conceal. Right now, I'm using MAC Studio Sculpt concealer. I like it a lot better than the Laura Mercier concealer that I've been using for years. I actually really do like that concealer. However, the concealer corrector, layering them, it's not really doing anything for me. So I'm going to show you guys how I conceal my under eye circles. Excuse my face, it's not made up. I feel a little weird. Next thing I need to talk to you about is my busted lip. My son, he was jumping on my lap because he was really excited, and then he threw his head back and it busted my lip. And of course that's right where that incisor is. So got a busted lip. So I know it is unsightly and I apologize for that. I have put on some lipstick. I've got MAC Viva Glam Lady Gaga, the pink one. I put that on to kind of cover it a little bit, but it's not doing that great of a job. So just wanted to put that out there. Nextly, I've got foundation on. I moisturized, put some primer on and my oil control stuff, and then went ahead and did my foundation so that that would set and everything. I'm wearing Estee Lauder's Double Wear Foundation in the shade Ecru. So that's what I have on. And now that that's done, I'm going to use the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Dark Circle Eraser that everybody has told me they love this thing so much. And when I complain about concealers, I get so many messages that tell me that I need to try this. Well, I have tried this and it does not do what I need it to do. I have very bad circles, like very bad circles. I did, you know, like I said, put my foundation on, so I've got a thin layer of foundation over the bottoms of my eyes, but you can see them really badly when I do that, or I don't think you can see them really, you know, they don't really appear on camera the way that they do in person, but they're bad. So this works for me as a corrector. It does not conceal anything. It does not erase my circles. Anyhow, so that's that. This is light pale, and I'm just going to get that under here, like that, into that area, and you can still see where the darkness is. So I know that if you have very light circles or just a little bit of discoloration, this would work exceptionally well. For me it doesn't, but it does work as a corrector. So I layer it underneath my other concealers. The Studio Sculpt concealer is what I'm using. The MAC Studio Sculpt looks like that. I am the shade NC15. I'm going to take that with a concealer brush. This is a Smashbox number 31 concealer brush. I'm going to get the concealer onto both sides of the brush, and then I'm going to get the concealer into this area where I have kind of a triangle under there, and I'm going to create a triangle like I said. And then when I do this, I want to keep this in here, like, you know, close to my nose, and then kind of like a triangle like I said. But this outer corner, I know I just brushed it down. It's kind of important that you brush up in the outer corner so that your eye will look lifted and not pulled down. That is just kind of a trick that I've learned from watching other people, as well as something that I know just works. And so once again, you're going to go in this outer corner. Now I know this is far too much concealer for lots of people, but for me, this is how I like my face. So in this corner, you're going to go up and out a little, and then fill it in. Okay, so you can see where I put it, right over those dark shadows that I have, and then I'm just brushing it. Okay, I'm done. I'm just kidding. Okay, so I'm going to put my concealer brush away, and I'm going to get my Coty Airspun powder out. The Makeup Forever HD powder does not work for this. For me, it does not work for this. Actually, I'm glad I bought a sample of that product because I really and honestly do not think it's anything too special. When I do this with a little brush, it goes everywhere. You can see the fine powder go everywhere. If I use it as a face powder, it does the same thing. I really don't see the special, you know, I don't see what's so great about it. It's just a powder. Anyhow, so I'm going to use a Bare Essentials Max Coverage Concealer Brush. I like it. It's just to help you set concealer. I also have this one by Laura Mercier. It's for the camouflage powder. This one works exceptionally well too. I'm just using these to set my under eye concealer, so that's it. And I'm going to get out a mirror so I can see. And I'm going to take the pad of my finger and pat right in here to smooth that concealer out. And I am patting, never rubbing in, never, you know, pressing hard. I am lightly patting kind of a circle like this, like a rolling motion on my skin. And I do that because I don't want to remove very much product. I want it to just blend in, and that's what I'm doing. It's just blending by patting. So do not pull, do not rub, you're just patting very lightly in. And then up here I will rub the concealer up my lid. And with that brush, I'm going to pick up a little bit, and you can see the powder, a little bit of that powder, and make sure that I have an even application of concealer. And then I'm going to take this and just pat on top very lightly, just to set that concealer, and that will give me the fullest coverage that I can get, as well as really and truly conceal. You can see now they're pretty much concealed. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. So pat the powder in. If you take this and you pat and you pull, or you like if you're rushing on the powder, or you're, you know, pulling, you're being too rough, it will leave lines or streaks or cracking, or, you know, all those unsightly things we don't like our concealer to do. It will do that when it sets up your concealer. So you just want to pat it in very lightly to set the concealer in place, and that is how I conceal. Now I'm going to get the powder for the next eye, and with my finger again, I'm going to go in and just pat the area so that I blend the concealer in. And like I said, this is probably too much coverage for a lot of people. For me, it's what works. I have very dark circles. This is how I have to conceal them, or what I have found that works the best to conceal them. So, excuse me really quick. I thought I was going to sneeze, sorry. Anyhow, so just keep patting to blend in all that concealer. And then, like I said, I bring it up my eye, like so, just to kind of, you know, even everything out. And add a little bit in here, and a little bit in here. And I'm done. Okay, and then I'm going to take that and just pat it on. No, not being too rough or too deliberate. I'm just lightly powdering. And that is how I set it and keep it from moving or any of those things. So, a little bit more. Okay. You guys see that? And that is my concealer. Just want to blend it everywhere. So, biggest thing is, of course, the consistency of your concealer. This is a very full coverage concealer. It is thick. It is a little bit more moisturizing than the Studio Finish concealer. That one is still great though, and I use that one also. I think it is more pigmented and just thicker than my Laura Mercier one. Even though I really do like the Laura Mercier one, it worked for years for me, but I just want a flawless face. I mean, that's, you know, I don't want any darkness under my eyes. So that's what works for me. Let me wipe my finger because I've got concealer on it. And then important is also setting the concealer with a powder that works for you. The Makeup HD powder, I really wanted it to work so badly because I've heard such great things about it. It is a very thin powder, and it looks, because it's white, I thought it would maybe brighten a little bit. It does not work that well for that area of my face. The Laura Mercier setting powder also works extremely well, extremely well. I have just always been privy to the Coty Airspun powder, and that's what I use. I think it works, you know, it works for me better than anything else I've tried for setting the under eye area. So that's that. Somebody asked me what shade I was. I am in translucent, and there is no shade. It's just number 07024, but that really has nothing. It's just translucent. I know that it comes in like light, medium, and dark. I just buy translucent. So that is how I conceal. I'm going to stop right here because I'm going to do my face routine, but I'm going to do that in a different video because that's something separate, completely separate. So thank you so much for watching, and if you have any questions or anything, you know, put them down below. I don't mind answering. I hope I touched on the things I needed to. It's really simple, really quick when I do it. It does not take 10 minutes. It does when I'm explaining it. But anyhow, thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.